Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. After the very long 3-week break, the 100 has finally returned. So this will be my review of the 100 Season 7 Episode 13 Blood Giant. There is a lot to talk about surrounding the climax of the episode, specifically that the climax was completely spoiled for me, but I'll go through the events chronologically and talk about that when I get to it naturally. So we opened straight after the end of the last episode, with Cadigan being an absolute boss and wiping out a lot of the Dark Commander's guards in seconds. Also wounding Shadeheader, with Shadeheader basically having no choice but to agree to Cadigan's terms. Onward to the key! Anyway, we get our reunions this episode, both the group with Murphy, with Raven catching Murphy up when it comes to the bunker, and Cadigan being the man with a plan. And we also get the Maddie and Clark reunion. Clark is sent out to get the flame on her own, but returns after the eclipse begins. Also, I'm just gonna completely ignore the fact that 30 minutes after Cadigan and his men show up, boom, eclipse, after not having one since the beginning of last season. It's fine, it's fine. Amori disables the power to Sanctum though, taking down the shield, allowing the bugs to enter, and Sanctum and Gabriel realizing that the eclipse is beginning after he starts to hallucinate Josephine. I really thought we'd seen the last of Sarah Thompson, but I'm glad she returned even if it was just for one episode, and I really liked her and Gabriel's scenes. We also get our Raven vs Nikki scene, which may be a little disappointing for me and extremely cliche, with it being clear that Raven's guilt is weighing on her even before the encounter with Nikki. Nikki is going to kill her, but has that moment where she realizes that Raven will be worse off living with what she's done, rather than dying for it. Not a big fan. It's logical, but it just doesn't work for me. I've seen it so many times. The only way it could have been a worse resolution was if it turned out that Raven's mother's name was also Martha. I really liked the Indra vs Disciples bit and how she and Shadeheader kind of fought them together, with Indra having visions of her mother but ending up leaving Shadeheader alive to suffer his fate. We then move to Clark, of course, giving Cadigan the flame, and Josephine convincing Gabriel, or actually Gabriel convincing Gabriel, I believe that's how it works anyway, to fix the flame for Cadigan. But then Gabriel realizes what he's doing and shoots the flame instead. One thing I don't like about this scene is that the entire time he is threatening Cadigan, his finger isn't even on the trigger, so taking him out for supposedly trained disciples should be pretty easy. But anyway, now we can finally say goodbye to the flame forever. It's been a massive part of the show since season 2, so I'm glad it's gone. Speaking of things that have been a massive part of the show for a very long time, that I am a little less glad that they're gone, Duchette, after Gabriel's actions, makes a play for Gabriel and Clark shoots him. Then in a massive turn, Shadeheader tells Bellamy about Maddie's sketchbook, and so Clark shoots Bellamy before jumping through the portal to get her friends. This scene where Clark's holding Bellamy at gunpoint really reminds me of 411, where Clark almost shoots Bellamy for opening the bunker but can't bring herself to do it. Now let's talk about the more controversial nature of this scene. Many people are not happy at all, to say the least. Many people are comparing this to Game of Thrones Season 8, which in my opinion is a bit of a leap. But yes, I do see the similarities between the Jon and Daenerys scene and the Clark and Bellamy scene. Personally, I had zero emotional reaction to this scene as it was spoiled about an hour before I watched the episode. Interestingly enough, I didn't actually get it spoiled by an unofficial source, rather an official one. The statement that Jason Rothenberg made on the 100 Facebook page that was uploaded, I think, a few hours after the episode aired. I'm not going to blame the page or Rothenberg for me being spoiled, that is completely my fault. You should really avoid all social media if you haven't seen an episode of a recent show. It actually happened before on Facebook as well, with Beth's death in, I believe, season 5 of The Walking Dead. But I'm actually going to read Rothenberg's statement because it is really heartfelt and he meant well. But basically he says, "For 7 seasons, The 100 has been a show about the dark things that humanity will do to survive, and the toll those deeds take on our heroes' souls. We knew Bellamy's death had to go to the heart of what the show is all about. Survival. Who you're willing to protect and who you're willing to sacrifice. His loss is devastating, but his life and his endless love for his people will loom large and affect everything that comes after, to the very end of the series itself. We thank Bob for the beautiful work over these long years and wish him all the best in his future endeavours. Overall, a very well-meaning statement, but probably could have waited until at least tomorrow to upload it. Personally, if I had the choice, I would have left Bellamy dead after the portal room scene, but I don't like to criticise this choice, especially when there are still 3 episodes of the series left. It might tie in really well. And I actually kind of regret saying in a video back when the series started that I hope Jason Rothenberg doesn't Game of Thrones it, in reference to the 100. Although I do understand other people's anger, as it doesn't seem quite right, especially when, at least in my mind, it's hard to view Maddie as more important to Clark than Bellamy is, especially after everything they've been through. Anyway, I'm going to leave this portion of the review here, and this is where I talk about the next episode. So if you don't want any spoilers from the promo whatsoever, please make a hasty exit. Thank you for watching, make sure to let me know what you think of the way Bellamy's death was handled, and I'll see you in the future. Bye. So in the promo of the 100 Season 7 Episode 14, A Sort of Homecoming, we see that they have returned to Earth, and it actually looks like it's grown again, with them coming out into a big forest. Which makes sense, it's been a few hundred years, so microorganisms would have gotten to work again. I don't know exactly where they show up, but it kind of looks like the room in the bunker where the stone was originally. So it wasn't actually seen in the original bunker when it was discovered, so it may have been blocked off. We also see the return of most of our friends, including Gaia finally reappearing. We also see Shadeheader donning a disciple suit, very much liking the blade on the suit clearly. Also, if you slow it down significantly, you see a lot more than you might expect, with Shadeheader also wearing a disciple helmet with the HUD. We also see Hope and Jordan in an embrace, which is a bit odd, but honestly I wouldn't be surprised with those two after the scene they had while they were prisoners. Also a scene that makes it look like Gaia is trying to kill Maddie. I don't think that's the case, but it also could work, as if Gaia wanted to keep the secrets of the flame, as she is a flamekeeper, a secret that only Maddie has, but I don't see her trying to do that. Anyway everyone, thanks for watching, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the future. Bye!